Alright, so welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching. Lewis is a brand new rider. I trained him a couple of weeks ago doing his motorcycle safety course with the CMSP here in Los Angeles, sunny Southern California, and he rode beautifully. He passed his test. He's now officially a licensed motorcyclist, and he asked me if I ever rode canyons, and I said,
once in a while.
Once in a while, yeah. No,
on a blue moon.
I love to ride canyons. So he asked if I would take him to my favorite canyon training ground and give him some lessons and some experience on how to ride safely in the canyons. So with that in mind, we are here at the Placerita Canyon Nature Center, just north of Los Angeles. We're about half an hour, about 30 miles north of Hollywood. And we will be doing my favorite canyon ride this morning for a couple of hours. So welcome, Lewis.
Hello.
And you'll get to meet him a little later on and find out all about what makes him a motorcyclist. Anyway, let's get on with the video. Hope you enjoy the ride. Thanks again for tuning in. Feel free to leave comments, suggestions, likes, and of course, subscribe.
Alrighty, so you've got your airbag jacket attached. That's awesome that you're wearing an airbag jacket. Thank you. I'm wearing my airbag jacket. You can't be too safe. Proper motorcycle boots, pants, armored gloves, full face helmet. Let's rock and roll.
While you're on the ride, we dress for the slide, baby.
Safety first.
Exactly. Let's have a beautiful ride.
So don't you hate it when you check your GoPro footage and the picture recorded, but there's absolutely no sound? Nothing at all. So unfortunately, for this next section of video, there is absolutely no audio that was recorded. So this is the point where I was basically giving Lewis some safety pointers, a few riding tips and techniques before we hit the canyon. When I say he's a newbie, he is definitely a new rider. Anyway, we did a pre-ride check, made sure our gear was good, made sure our tire pressures were good and tires were in good shape. That's also something that's very important to do before you do this kind of riding. So I also gave him some reminders on body position for riding in the canyons. I didn't want him to go too fast. There's a lot of tight turns in these canyons. Here and back there's at least 100 turns. So it's quite a workout on the body and wrists. It's very important to keep your shoulders relaxed, keep your elbows relaxed, keep your wrist relaxed, so you get maximum feedback from your fingers and hands from the handlebars, and that you have a smooth throttle control, and that your body position is basically set up so that you have got big head turns in the direction that you want the bike to go in before you get into the corner, looking through and out the other side of the corner as far as you can possibly see into the distance, constantly assessing the condition of the road, what's coming up on you, and having that situational awareness so that you can make good calls and good judgment calls while you're riding. Whether to slow down, whether to swerve, whether to brake, whatever you need to do, you need to be ready to do it in an instant. I talked to him a little bit about reading the corners, finding a good line, outside, inside, outside line. Basically, the rule of thumb is the safest line to take through the corner is one that's in your lane and one that gets you through the corner safely. Every line is going to be different for every rider. It's not a racetrack, and the best possible ride you can go on in your life is the one that you come home from alive. Riding a motorcycle is incredibly dangerous, so it's just very, very important to stay in your lane, read what's going on in front of you, read the road conditions, be at one with your bike. It's a very zen spiritual experience when everything connects and you're riding safely in the canyons and you're just enjoying the ride. So for most of the ride, I wanted him to follow me and follow my line through the canyons because I'm more familiar with it. I've done it many times. I use it as my practice canyon route, basically, for training purposes, because it's pretty intense. So his line selection for most of the canyon ride, unless I signal him past me so I can watch him ride, is based on where I'm riding. And that way he's learning basically by copying, learning by doing. So much of riding a motorcycle is feeling and having the feelings of how it rides. I can talk to you for hours and hours and hours on end. That's not going to make you become a better rider. You need to go out there and actually physically do it, which is why when you're riding with an experienced rider, you can get an enormous amount of good quality tuition and experience by following their correct lines and learning by doing, basically doing it correctly. You're not picking up any bad habits. So that was really what I was trying to convey to him. And then we talked about braking. I didn't want him to worry about trail braking. He's asked me about trail braking. We will be doing some trail braking in the future. Right now, it's all about adjusting your speed before you get into the curve, rather than trail braking through the curve. I want him to get that experience and get that muscle memory built in so that he can adjust and set his speed before he gets into the curve, and then staying on the throttle through the curve, and then braking when necessarily, like I said, before you get into the curve, so you're coming in at the right speed.
What did you say? Awesome? Awesome! Alright, don't forget to disengage your airbag before you jump off the bike. Relax, don't try keeping up with me. I'm not going particularly fast, but I am trying to be as safe as possible. Right. Choose the safest line, which is really, really important. Yeah, the bees and the flies and the wasps and the gravel and the dirt, you don't want to ever get anything in your eye.
There's a bug on the top of here when we got up here.
I can believe it.
Great.
Alrighty, so GoPros are on. Your airbag is connected, everything's zipped up. Cool, cool. We also talked a little bit about if we have an emergency situation, a corner where you need to brake in the middle of a corner and you're in a lean. The safest way of doing that is basically looking to a new direction, straightening the bike, allowing the suspension to settle, and then applying your brakes smoothly and completely, coming to a nice quick stop. Alrighty, and we're off. Good, good. Falling rocks on cars. Scary. Head turn. Push on that left-hand grip. Head turn, push on that right hand grip, stay on the throttle. Watch your line. Outside line. Head turn all the way through the corner. Slow and steady. Alright, let's see how Lewis is doing. Slowing down before the corner, good. Outside, inside. Big head turn. So the other thing that's really important while you're riding the canyons with other motorcyclists is keep your distance. Give yourself plenty of buffer space between you and the rider in front of you. Stagger yourself or be in a nice distant line behind him. And don't watch them. You know, you need to be worried about yourself and be looking way ahead into that corner and beyond the other side. If I'm staring at Lewis right now, I'm not looking all the way down the road. But his lines are looking good. He's braking and setting up his speed before the corners. Hard to see his head turns this far back, but fingers crossed they're all there. Just a great canyon to practice your cornering technique, canyon riding technique. 15 miles of really awesome canyon riding with a pretty spectacular view at the top. Now these kind of canyons, they're a workout on your arms, but you need to have loose shoulders, loose elbows, minimal input of stress from your arms into the handlebars. You need to be relaxed when you're riding. It's got to be very zen. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. This kind of motorcycle riding for me is like doing yoga. It's a very zen experience. From the looks of it, he's having a lot of fun. His lines are good, his body position is good. Watch him lean into that corner, tuck forward and lean, moving his center line over the center of the bike, leaning into the left-hand mirror here. I teach my students, kiss the mirror. Put your cheek to the mirror. Let the mirror kiss you. You're bringing it forward and in. You're bringing it forward and in to get your body position in the right position. It's gonna give you a bent elbow on one side and a straight arm on the other. So if you don't want to think about, oh, I've got to bend my arm and straighten the other one and move my position, just think kiss the mirror. That's going to automatically put you in the right position. If you're going to make a left turn like now, I'm going to lean forward and kiss that left mirror. I'm in a right-hand turn right now. I'm going to lean forward and push on that right-hand grip and kiss the mirror. Well, for a brand new rider, he is riding really well. At this point of the ride, he's probably thinking to himself, damn, this is a serious canyon road. Look at this corner. Wow, wow, wow. You got to watch for oncoming traffic. A number of times I've done this canyon and I've got some idiot in a Porsche who's basically in my lane. Come in tight to the corner here, inside line, hold it. Nice and clean all the way around, switch back. There you go. Oh. Smooth braking. There you go. Nice, nice, nice. Easy. Car coming up the other direction. Outside line. Stay well away from him. You really got to concentrate in the canyons. There's just no room for error. We've got some crash bars here to stop you going off the side, but might stop the bike, might not stop you. You'll go straight over it. So, as I said at the beginning of this video, this is my training canyon. I use this canyon to train riders who want to learn how to ride great in the canyons, and myself. Just practice, practice, practice. Get out here and ride. It is a glorious ride. Corner after corner after corner after corner. Like I call it my mini Dragon's Tail, the Santa Clarita Dragon's Tail. And hard braking. Right hand push, right hand push. Back on the throttle, full traction. Again, outside line, lining up for the inside, hard lean in, rolling off the throttle, ready for a corner, and slowing down. Oh, Google Maps, filming the canyon road. So if you're in the Los Angeles area and the San Fernando Valley, I highly recommend some of the canyon roads in this area. This is my favorite. It's the Little Tujunga Canyon, it's called. Hopefully it won't become too busy if this video goes viral. Now I am doing a little bit of trail braking through these corners where I'm staying on the throttle and braking at the same time to even out my suspension. Trail braking certainly is a more advanced skill, and I'll be doing some videos on that in the near future. For a new rider in the canyons, I don't recommend it until you really understand the process. Woo, look at that dust. All right, so we're gonna slow it right down. Oh my word. Gotta be ready for anything on a motorcycle. Dust storms, animals in the road, gravel, tar snakes, a boulder that's rolled down the hillside, an angry squirrel throwing nuts at you. You just don't know what's around the next corner. If you can't see it, you don't know how to react. So be cautious. Slow it down. Really windy today. I was really hoping to shoot some drone footage at the top of the mountain of the view and showing the canyon road, but another time. We don't have so much wind. It's really insane wind right now. Woo. Feel you pushing at you on the bike. You want to counter steer into the wind so it doesn't push you over. Well, there you go. That is almost 15 miles of canyon. 7 miles up, 7 miles down. It's actually about 8.5 miles down. It's a shorter ride to the top, like 6 to the top and 8 or 9 down on the other side. But it is just an awesome practice canyon route. You to practice your setup, practice your cornering, practicing your braking, practicing your body position, your lean angles, and it certainly gives you a wrist workout. A couple of miles from here you hit the 210 freeway. Did a nice job on those corners. The other thing we have to watch at the bottom end of this canyon, now we're getting down into a little bit more residential area, is, what does the sign say? Horses. And horses do not like loud motorcycles. So if you've got a loud pipe like I do, roll off the throttle, just coast. Don't freak out the horses with a crazy loud roaring motorcycle. That's just being a numpty. Don't be a numpty. Be considerate and set a good example to other motorcyclists on the road. So yeah, I've seen lots of horses. We're passing the horse stables here. They're often riding, more so at the weekends, but we want to be respectful of the horses and not freak them out. Congratulations for not going wide, not going off the road, for riding safely. A couple of spots I had a tough time keeping up for you, you little daredevil, you.
Oh my God, I want to fall.
So yeah, first impressions, what do you think? As a practice training canyon?
It's better than the Snake by a long shot. It's better than Mulholland Drive. Even though Mulholland Drive is my backyard, out here there's guaranteed less traffic, I feel like, every day of the week. You're probably going to find nicer drivers up here than on Mulholland Drive.
Right.
Because just loads of assholes there. And I think my number one big draw that's going to get me here is the elevation change. It's fast. You're going up, you're going down, and you're turning.
Then you're going back up again, and then you're going down again.
And you're turning. And
I know, you got full camber on those corners that you're not expecting on some of those switchbacks.
I can really appreciate a good bank now. Well, like when you take any of these banks in a car or a Miata, a short wheelbase car,
right,
you just take it for granted. You get so much grip. This really makes you appreciate it.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed your first canyon ride.
I can't even tell you how much I enjoyed it. It was so much.
I should say your first training canyon ride,
yeah,
where you're working on your skill set. I mean, every time you get on your bike, you need to consider it practice and training. I learn something new every time I ride.
Yeah.
I still consider myself a student of motorcycling, even with the number of years I've been riding. So, awesome. Thank you for joining me, and look forward to the next one.
You want to ride back?
If you want to.
You normally go back that way anyway.
I'm going to go back, or you can jump on the freeway and head home. It's totally up to you.
I would love to go back and do it one more time. That's all I was thinking about when you...
Yeah, it's a different experience going back in the other direction.
So let's go and do another run again.
Let's just do it, top to bottom.
Go back this way one more time.
You may want to if you want to. That's the way to practice, man. Just keep doing it time and time again. But until the point you don't want to get too tired.
Yeah,
you still have to go home. Okay. Sure. All right.
Yeah, I'll follow you.
All right, so nice and relaxed, nice and zen. Don't push it too hard.
Alrighty, so we're at the end of part 1 of the video. Thank you for watching us coming up and over the hill, heading from north to south. So we're at the other side of the mountain at this point and decided to go back in the opposite direction to where we started, which will give us a whole new set of corners. Same corners, different direction, different angles of approach, different departure angles, different lean angles. Although everything's in reverse, it changes the game slightly. So it's another great way of practicing your canyon riding, doing everything back to front. So thank you for watching part 1. Please watch part 2 of the video to see us go back over and through the canyon in the opposite direction. Thanks for watching.